Damn, that is looking huge. I'm so impressed. Hey everyone. I hope you're keeping cool wherever it is that you are. It's been very hot here in Los Angeles, so please stay safe. I'm excited to check out another Falling in Reverse today. I looked at a video of theirs some time ago, early on, during the early days of this channel. And I had so much fun with that because I hadn't realized like how many mainstream movie film references they put in there. And for as far as I'm aware, like the budgets for their videos are pretty insane. So I'm just really stoked to check out the new video for this song, Prequel. I will say I'm not too familiar with Falling in Reverse outside of checking them out for this channel. So I'm kind of exploring new stuff here, which is great, which is also something that I love to do here on the channel. So my reaction will be super fresh. Either way, just so you know what we do here, my name is Noen. I'm a filmmaker and I'm a writer-director, and I've directed short films, usually work with a big film crew. So this YouTube situation is just me, so that comes with it a very different set of challenges. I'm learning every day. I'm working on my first feature film as well as a graphic novel series, and I'm just really stoked to be here and to talk with you more about music videos because I'm very passionate about metal music specifically, but music in general, and music videos because I think that they make such an exciting package together. You know, music videos really make our experience of the music so much stronger when they're done well, I think. So I don't really react to the music necessarily, I just look at the visuals here. And I'm really focusing, so sometimes I miss some bits. But please forgive me and come join us in the comments to talk about the stuff that I missed or didn't miss. Anyway, all that aside, let's get into the video.
Dear diary, I've been searching for a Dear diary, I've been searching for Dear diary, I've been searching for a higher me. I'm in the sky in the pilot seat trying to stop my mind from spiraling, and that's irony. I'm just looking for a resolution. I just want to be a better human, but it's hard when everybody's acting stupid. Pardon me if that came off rude. I just have a bad attitude with the world and not just with you. It's the side effects of abuse. I admit I'm a little strange. I don't think that I'll ever change. I survived a whole life of pain. You could say I escaped my fate. I'm a cynical, egotistical, unpredictable, hardened criminal, and I can be a little hypocritical, but I'll admit it straight to your face. I'm unbreakable, irreplaceable, undeniably inspirational. I use everything I had available to make me the person I am today.
Wow, okay. Damn, that is looking huge. I'm so impressed. I mean, the scope of these videos is just insane. Like, obviously, we start here on this desert situation. Obviously, I love the opening shot of this skull. It gives me a very Mad Max vibe instantly. And then, you know, he walks into the desert. And this stunning shot, very Dune, you know, very Star Wars-y too. And that's something that I've noticed with more of his videos, especially with like the red laser. Falling in Reverse, I'm guessing that they must really be Star Wars fans, because obviously then we go into this space, which also feels very, very Star Wars, although we have a little bit more sort of Gothic reminiscent architecture here, so I'm not sure what's going on. It's an interesting look for sure. And then we have these soldiers, which, again, They look very Star Warsy, although it's a little bit more like a Star Wars Game of Thrones mix almost. And for some reason, these guys with these really big masks made me think of Predator. So I'm getting all sorts, like this is the first 8 seconds, right? My goodness. Costumes are fantastic, and I love this set. And this is something that I saw in the previous video that I did too, is where, they build a set to a certain extent, like this floor here and some of this on the side, and then they have a green screen in the back where they create a graphic that makes it look a lot deeper than it actually is. So that's how they are able to add so much scope to this. And it's really a very smart use of smaller sets. Very cool. Very cinematic camera angles. We're very much in that sort of 24 millimeter anamorphic type of look to it. I don't know if that's actually what they used in terms of lenses, but that's definitely giving me the vibe. Like, it really feels like they're using proper cinema camera materials. So looking really good. And then this shot is great. Like, we're angled just slightly down on him, really emphasizing on his own crown here, sort of with these tattoos. And then he is actually given this crown, right? So he's actually given this crown here, which then disappears, which is a very, very cool effect. And here you can actually see that effect that I was talking about. Like, you can pretty clearly see that this is a green screen here. Like, I personally would have liked for that to blend into the background a little bit better, but still, like, it's just me nitpicking and just pointing it out just because I find it interesting. It's not really a critique necessarily, because it's still, it's still very convincing. Love this effect of it sort of disintegrating. Very cool. Something that I love about these shots, and I just had to look it up because I felt like this looks so much like the video for Watch the World Burn, that I was sure that was the same director and maybe even the same DP, director of photography. And I am right. This is directed by a guy named Jensen, Noen, and the DP is the same guy as well, Powell Robinson. So it's no surprise, really, that it looks very similar. Very cool looking. And I love shots like this. They really seem to like this sort of really angular stuff. Like, there's a lot of lines for your eyes to follow. And it's very, very nice looking. And so Jensen Noen, I saw, has also directed quite a few of the Ice Nine Kills videos and some other videos for really well-known bands. So it's interesting to see this guy's trajectory. I wasn't aware of this before, but now I know it's someone new to follow because this is so cool looking, and I love that he brings like a really sort of Hollywood-y cinematic vibe to these videos. Very cool. And he's done a feature as well. So, he really has a little bit of a different approach to these music videos. It really looks like a movie, this. So, love that. Then what's interesting is that we have a couple of these shots. Now, you're probably familiar with this kind of shot, and it's really fascinating. And just to kind of take you into some film history, we see these types of shots in a lot of dystopian science fiction films, especially films when they and dystopian sci-fi does this a lot, and sci-fi in general, like Star Wars, like The Hunger Games, like there's some shots in Game of Thrones as well, especially in season 8 when Daenerys goes kind of nuts. They use certain filmmaking techniques that was originated by Leni Riefenstahl, who is originally the woman who shot all of the video that we've seen of Adolf Hitler. So, and everything in the Third Reich. So if you look up some of those videos just for like the cinematic perspective, which is a little odd to say, but it has really originally inspired a lot of these filmmaking techniques, as well as how George Lucas shot a lot of the Empire segments. So it's really interesting to see that now carried to even music videos, and to sort of see how this has perpetuated sort of in history the way that we present powerful figures and sort of dominating over a whole bunch of people. And so I'm talking specifically also here about, this is shot from the back. We see him like in front of this giant crowd, and all of the little people just look like ants. And so it's a very powerful shot. It's really interesting how parts of history and film history have influenced techniques that we use up until this day. And it's similar for shots like this too, where this is not necessarily, it's so common, so I don't know if it's necessarily traced back to those times, but the way that the camera is placed low here and we look up at him, it makes us as the viewer feel small. He feels more powerful. And this is a technique that you'll see a lot in film, where they're trying to make the subject of the shot feel more or come across as more powerful. It's a stunning effect, isn't it? Like, it's so overwhelmingly large, especially with this whole view in the back with all these factories. It's even giving me a little bit of Metropolis as well, with this sort of, it's looking quite digitally generated, but it's very cool looking and sort of angular as well, which is interesting because here we have this sort of more Gothic style going on, which you don't see in this landscape at all. So it's an interesting blend of the old and the new. Beautiful. And then we go back to the desert, and I'm interested to see how those two things are blending. So let's...
Inspirational, I lose everything I had available to make me the person I am today. Dear diary, I just had another wild dream. I was in a world that admired me, and when I woke up I was smiling, and that's irony. You talk a lot but you don't even know me. I'm just hoping that my testimony will inspire y'all to stop acting phony. Pardon me if that came off weird. I don't mean to be mean, I swear. I have been through a lot this year. I just want to make a few things clear. I don't like it when people hate behind my back and not to my face. Nowadays it just feels so fake, so I'll cut the grass to expose the snakes. I'm unstoppable, it's impossible. You don't want to see the diabolical side of me that never stops is volatile, so I suggest you stay in your lane. I'm unapologetic, you know where it's headed. I will never ever let up off the pedal. I got the spirit of every warrior in me. Ever back the fuck up, get out my face. You enslaved the labor and you praise the fascists. You can't...
Wow. Okay, so we're seeing so much going on. It's hard to keep track, my goodness. So what's happening here, I think, is he's walking from the desert, which again is looking very Tatooine, into this space with a lot of people. There's like a market, and he is looking very Sith. He basically controls their movement, which again is giving me very sort of Sith, right? So feeling very much a Star Wars inspiration here. Very cool. And just wanted to point out how beautiful all of the color grading and like the color choices are in this video. So in the costumes in this crowd, they've chosen for a palette of basically like these sort of sand tone neutrals, as well as grays and blues, which is even carried into the background here as well. And so you get this really sort of soft toned general palette. Absolutely love that. So beautiful, really interesting makeup choices here for the extras as well. Very cool, and it's rare that we see so many extras in music videos. And if this was actually shot in Los Angeles, which I think it was probably a very expensive project. I don't know what their budget was, but it must have been significant. And then everything turns a little bit darker, but as you can see still, like even in the background here, is basically these beiges and blues. And it kind of goes back to that combination of blue and yellow that we talk about a lot here on this channel, which looks really satisfying to the eye because they're very complementary colors. And so you see it a lot, and here it's done really well. And you can kind of see how they even color graded his sort of blacks here to be more bluish. So you can see sort of in the shadows here and in the blacks that the blue tones are in the shadows are a little bit stronger than what they would have looked like in person. Same here, very, very blue looking. Love this eye turning red thing. We see that a little bit more often. Obviously, he's got another sort of villain, story here, because he's clearly not playing the hero unless it's an evil hero. I don't know. We'll see. Then all of a sudden he's bare chested. I don't know where the coat went, but here we are. And then I wanted to point out this. And again, I love these sets and like these colors and the lights here because this is really beautiful. I think that, if this was an actual set that they built, we have probably some tube lights in here as well as in here. Really, really beautiful looking. I feel like we see part of it here. This will be tube lights as well. It's just really stunning looking and it's just really beautifully leading our eye into this distance with the perspective really going like this. And then again, like we have this beautiful contrast between the sort of golden yellow and the blue with some reflections here, and it's just really, really, really beautiful. And it looks a little bit like an instrument, almost like these shapes. I don't know. It looks really cool. Getting a little bit of Blade Runner too. Stunning. Just really, really, really beautiful. And I love this. And I have a hard time figuring out what is VFX and what is actual set. I'm really not sure how much of this set they were able to actually build. But this is just, yeah, really, really, really cool looking.
Labor and you praise the fascists. You kiss the hand that takes half in taxes, faking outrage and being seen. A generation with no self-esteem. It's time to rise up and stand against them. Break the chains and finally see the vision. We're post-traumatic from a broken system. Follow me into the chaos engine. It's time to stand, it's time to fight. Don't be afraid to twist the knife. Your sacrifice to break the curse. Prepare to die, prepare to burn. Abandon hope, it's not enough, cause all our gods abandon us. Your sacrifice to break the curse, light the match, watch it burn. Heaven falls, the angels die. Let it burn from the start. When everything falls apart.
So we have a little bit of the same thing going on as Watch the World Burn, right? Where he, it's even a little bit more grandiose. So the Gothic architecture is obviously leading, it's part of him. It's part of this religious thing where we already saw a cross before he walked over it, like in light. And now he's actually being pinned to the cross too, which is feeling a little grandiose to say the least. Additionally, we have these people who are wearing tags being run into or being forced to jump into this pool or something. This, by the way, very, very cool visual. I don't know what this is yet, but this looks so cool. So again, look at these colors and the lights. And that is something that I keep saying as well. It's like, if you want to make something look truly cinematic, it's the lighting that makes it look like a proper film. This is so beautiful. I love how angular her face is and how much that matches this V in the background. It's just so beautiful. Regardless, though, I do find like them with numbers and already like using some of and even him saying like fascists and stuff, it's very graphic in a way. So here, they're pregnant women even? Wonderful. I don't know, those are definitely choices, aren't they?
Up and stand against them, break the chains and finally see the vision. We're post-traumatic from a broken system. Follow me from a broken system. Follow me into the chaos engine. It's time to stand. Follow me into the fight, sacrifice, to break the, prepare to burn, break the knife.
Also, we seem to be praying to some sort of giant statue here as well, which is very interesting. I don't know if that's supposed to be him or not. I would guess so. So they're definitely setting him up to be some sort of martyr king kind of figure. What a interesting story. Yeah. Again, like this whole environment is just unreal. Very cool. Really loving this visual in particular too. And I wonder what it is. So, yeah.
Let it burn from the start. When everything falls
Wow. Incredible. I feel like the ending was like, it's more so about the lure and the appeal and like the power of corruption, and by the end, like, he sees this suit where it's like, I don't know if that's the suit it's not the suit he was wearing before, but it's very reminiscent. So it's almost like, again, it's such a beautiful shot. Like, how? Anyway, filmmakers, right? So cool. And the lighting here, again, is so nice. But yeah, it feels like here we're actually seeing him in like the desert outfit, which maybe indicates that now he's on the side of good. And he's seeing this thing where it would be so easy to put it on and be corrupted, right? And so I would say it's more so even a story really about how power corrupts, and I feel like that fits with what he's singing as well. It's really creepy, and I love how they used all of these old filmmaking techniques and sort of the cinematic language and language of semiotics that we use as filmmakers to tell this story. And it's so well done. It looks so slick and just so beautiful and so grand in scope. Well done. I think it's really kind of nuts. I'm blown away. And then this whole thing, crazy. So we're seeing Valkyries here, right? And so what's so fascinating is that Ride of the Valkyries is also very significant for this type of storytelling too. So it's interesting that we actually see the Valkyries. This shot is really reminding me of a painting as well, and I can't remember which. If I figure it out, I'll put it in the edit. But it's yeah, it's very, very pretty. And just really well done. Oh, what else can I say? Well, this was a treat. My goodness, didn't expect that I'd be seeing so much of like film stuff today, so this is very exciting. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I definitely discussed some interesting things here today that I didn't quite expect. So let me know. And if you want to talk more about movies and stuff, we're over on Discord as well. So find the link to our Discord channel in the description below. I'm also on Patreon, where you can support me and this channel. You get exclusive access to some of my personal work as a filmmaker that I can't really share elsewhere yet, because it's either in development or we're working on releasing it. And yeah, like and subscribe if you haven't yet. And I hope to see you on the next one. Peace.